Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 148 of Into Let's Play. So in the previous episode I started what's going to be my next project, which will be a liquid factory, which will contain hopefully every type of liquid that can be obtained in Feed the Beast, at the moment at least at the Darryl 20 pack. And as you can see off screen, I've pretty much created all those different tanks. All of them are exactly the same, made from smooth stone with hollow for 8 blocks, which is basically 128 buckets. And yeah, that's we've got 6 on this side and 6 on this side. They're all exactly the same, and we can hopefully today get started. Just a quick thing to say before we get started. As a result of this liquid factory, some things may change in my current balance of things, such as let's say, okay, let's just get started and get along with it. Okay, so first, let's build what's obvious. So the first two liquids I'm going to work for will be water and lava. Now that should be relatively fast because it's relatively easy, and you're about to understand why. Let's actually begin with water, and water should be in theory extremely simple to make. All I'm going to need is a water source block. And I'm going to use my Emperor's Chalice for that. And I'm going to take some smooth stone. And I will also need a valve. And I think that's pretty much it. Now, that's a little bit unfair because Zycraft tanks and water have a very specific property. Because water is kind of really easy to get, Sorin kind of made it on purpose that when you use tanks it will be even easier to get. And by saying that I mean that when you place a valve, and of course trigger it as a valid tank, and give it a water source block. So if I place those 3 blocks here, actually let's place this one here. This is unnecessary. This is still the same tank. If I place a water source block right next to a valve, the adjacent tank gets filled up with water extremely fast. And that's on purpose. That's simply because the way water works in Minecraft, that they're very easy to get, they're very easy to come by, so Soren basically told you that, okay, if it's that easy, then there is no reason to make it any more complicated. So by simply placing a water source block adjacent to a valve, this is pretty much the easiest way to fill up a water tank in Zycraft. Now, what I meant by saying that some things may change is since this small warehouse right now will be the hub of all my liquid from now on, I intend to actually change existing systems. So for example, if so far this ender tank had been my kind of source for liquid, and right now, okay, I'm at the filling mode, so the orange is down, I'm gonna move that and place it right next to that tank on purpose. Because I want, again, to logically make all the source of all the liquids used anywhere to be here. So this is now in filling mode, I believe. Yeah, it should be orange down is filling mode. It gets filled slowly by the Zycraft tank, which obviously gets filled up on its own. And any other place which actually uses water, obviously also gets filled up. Oh wait, I actually need to do something. Oh yeah, forgot about it. Zycraft valves do not push out liquids on their own. They need to actually use some sort of mechanism to take water out or liquid out. And I'm thinking about using liquid ducts, but I may actually not use liquid ducts. We'll see. Okay, let's first get liquid ducts. And you know what? Since liquid ducts are something I'm going to use quite a lot right now, let's actually make a way to autocraft them. So I've got ardent glass already incorporated into the system, so it's actually very easy. Just gonna need a little bit of it. Just craft 1 and get some copper and add liquid ducts to my applied logistics system. It's gonna be used quite a lot now since I'm gonna deal a lot with liquids, so really it's probably gonna something smart to do. So very easy, just 2 copper, this, and a blank pattern. And dump it in here. getting close to start using my 5th page of the molecular assembler. Now, still, I don't have any existing liquid ducts. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I felt like I did. Okay, so let's see how it looks when I use liquid ducts. I prefer using liquid ducts over waterproof pipes simply because the way waterproof pipe works, and I prefer liquid ducts. Going the torch. Okay, so if I remove this, whoops. So say this will be a liquid duct on extraction. Yeah, I think it won't be able to connect to an undertake. I'm going to need to use, yep, one additional liquid duct for that. So this and this. Okay, now it will act as the ender tank of water. Basically, it just looks a little bit larger than what it theory could have been looking like, but I guess it's fine. I'm considering changing it after all. Now we'll keep it like that. Okay, for the time being, I'll keep it like that. So this is now my water tank, and all the water source, all the water that's ever gonna be needed by anywhere is gonna basically come through this ender tank, which again is taken care of by this water tank. So that's water taken care of. Now let's take care of lava. Again, since I already have an existing system of lava, I'm gonna use that. I'm not gonna change too much. And since I actually made an auto-crafting system to create tesseracts, I actually went ahead and created a lot of liquid tesseracts off screen, and I'm gonna start using a lot of tesseracts. So I'm gonna take those 2 tesseracts, and I'm gonna get a bunch more torches. I'm gonna start using those torches. And I'm gonna set up the tesseract in the overworld first. So again, I'm gonna need one more valve. I'm gonna start using the top areas as the valve inputs on purpose, just because it's convenient to do so. It's a little not as ugly as placing it on one of the sides. So that valve will be right here, which will be connected to this liquid tesseract. And again, right here I had the problem that I tried placing an ender tank right next to a valve, and simply because valves do not push liquids, it had the problem. But right here it's not the same thing, because this liquid tesseract will push liquid into the valve, so there is no problem there. That liquid tesseract will be receiving only, always be on. It's going to be on frequency 1, and I'm going to call it lava. Okay, so right now obviously it doesn't receive anything, but I'm going to make my way to my netherrack age, where I smelt all the lava and change a couple of things. So first, this tank now goes away. I don't want this ender tank to be the source of all my lava. So this one goes away, and instead I'm going to replace it with this liquid tesseract, which will be sending only lava. That's it, and it's always on. So that's pretty much identical. And in the overworld right now, I should start seeing the liquid start filling up. All the lava starting to fill up all this tank right here. Yet it doesn't. Okay, so let's try and figure out what's the problem. It may be something with the liquid duct modes and tesseracts, however there shouldn't really be any problem. Yeah, actually there is a problem. Those liquid ducts are on extraction mode, I think. And oh wait, it should be on send only. Okay, silly me. Now it should be working. Let's take a look. Yep, I can already see that. So this is now the source of all my lava, obviously. And same thing I did here. I'm gonna place those 2 liquid ducts, turn this one to extraction mode, and place the ender tank again. And this pretty much again will be the same thing. This, from now on, this will be the source of all my lava. And let's do the same thing here. And that lava tank will now act as a buffer those tanks will basically act as a buffer right here for lava, obviously, and right here for water. So that's the first two steps of my liquid warehouse. Now, obviously, those are the two easy steps. Now we'll begin the actual more complicated steps because lava and water are extremely easy to get by, so there is no problem getting them. But from here on end are the actual interesting things. So let's start taking a look at what could potentially be my next goal. Obviously lava and water. There is creosote oil, there is normal oil, there is fuel, acid, a bunch of those things. I think a bunch of those different liquids are actually products of bees. Like without bees I cannot get them. So that's kind of questionable, but there is really no way other than that. I think I'm gonna go for biomass right now. Biomass and biofuel. Yeah, that will be my next project. Now, let's take a look. Actually, taking a look off screen, so there will be no surprises here. But biomass can be created using actually, okay, let's go the other way around because I know what I'm looking for. So my farm right there produces both seeds and wheat. So far I've only been using seeds, but I can actually now use wheat as well. So if I take a look at what can I do with wheat, I can turn that into this thing, a plant ball. Now a plant ball can be macerated back into dirt, but that's not interesting. It can be compressed into compressed plants, and that can be turned into a biocell. Now actually, biocell, I think a biocell is, oh wait, it will create biofuel directly. So I'm keeping the biomass part. Think, you know what, then maybe I'm going to change my plans and actually create biomass first out of wheat and then change that and then refine that into yeah. Okay, so using water and some sort of compost or whatever product, and of course energy, on a fermenter you generate biomass. So that's my plan at the moment. I'm going to create a small factory to do that actually. So I'm going to need a source of water. Now I already got a source of water because I'm using the I've got my ender tank network of water at the moment, so no problem there. Compressed plants, again, no problem, just some sort of automatic crafting system to do that. And now this is the only potential problem. I'm either going to need mulch, fertilizer, or compost. Now let's take a look at each of those different products. What can I actually get? Compost can be created using wheat and dirt, which is pretty much the potential for me to do. This is actually very easy. Fertilizer can be created using apatite and sand. Again, very easy to craft. And what was the last thing? I don't recall. You know what? Let's go ahead and use the apatite and sand. Finally give me a use for apatite. So let's start auto-crafting. Let's add recipes to my applied logistics network. So I'm gonna need a bunch of blank recipes, blank patterns that is. Let's get a little bit more. And I'm gonna need some apatite. And I've got a ton of apatite. I've got 44,000. Like, this is a crazy amount of apatite. There is really no problem using that. Let's get some sand. And let's get some wheat. Yeah, I've got a ton of wheat. And now also my farm is now turned off, but the moment it's going to turn on again, yeah, it's going to be crazy. I really have no problem with wheat. Okay, so let's do it one thing at a time. So first, apatite and sand. Okay, I guess not like this. Apatite and sand gives me fertilizer. Let's use the fertilizer recipe again, because sand and apatite is so easy to get by. So that's the first thing. And wheat, I'm going to change it's a shaped crafting, it's not a compressor crafting, so it's just normal crafting. So 8 of them in shape like this creates the plant ball. So that's the first thing. Let's dump that recipe in and actually get one plant ball. I think I'm actually gonna need 2, so let's get 2. Again, shaped crafting, no problem there. And plant balls are then to be compressed into compressed plants. So, oh wait, I can actually directly, oh no compressor. Directly place them in a fermenter. Again, what are the uses for compressed plants? You turn them into biocells. Oh, I can actually get a little bit more biomass out of them. Can get 0.5 buckets instead of 0.4 buckets using the plant ball. Yeah, 0.4 instead of 0.5. I guess in terms of efficiency, I don't really know, but you know what? Let's use the compressed recipe as a part of the process. So let's compress one of them, one of those plant balls. Oops, I just dumped both of them. So get both of them, get another one of those, and create a custom recipe that says that if you give me one of those, I'll give you one of this. Add that, and dump it into this interface, and dump it back in here. And now I'm gonna need fermenters. I'm gonna need a lot of fermenters. I'm gonna need bronze gear. Actually, I already added stone gear into the system previously, so let's just, I think I also have bronze actually implemented. Yep, I also have bronze, so that's easy. Let's get stone gear 1 and add that recipe as well. And again, as I've said, I'm going to create a small factory of creating that biomass, not just like one fermenter. So let's actually, you know what, let's also implement fermenter recipe into the system. So I'm going to sturdy casing. I think I've got this taken care of. Nope, I don't. So sturdy casing. And RD, okay, those are squeezers, they don't help me too much. Okay, no, never mind then. So let's get a bronze gear, some glass, and a sturdy casing. And I'm gonna head and add that recipe. So that and that gives me the fermenter. Add that again. My last of the 4th page. From here on in, this will be the 5th page. Dump everything back in here and actually get. Let's get 16 of those fermenters. A nice amount. Shouldn't be too much crafting. It's all shaped crafting. There is no process involved, I think. So just a little bit of crafting. It should be done quickly. Okay, so 16 fermenters are completed. Let's take them and start setting them up. I'm gonna set them up relatively near my wheat farm. So actually gonna go ahead and make sure that this wireless thingy is linked again, so it's not bugged by any chance, and start setting this up. Okay, so this seems like a suitable place to go ahead and set it up. Let's go ahead and take a look at actually how many access points I'm going to take care of, like for each machine. Should have brought my whole thingy, but okay, I'm gonna get along with it. So, placing the fermenter down, there are a couple of access points I'm going to take care of. There is the top access point, which is placing. I'm going to do some tests actually. Let's get a hopper and a bunch of everything. So let's get compressed plant balls. Let's get a lot more. And let's get some fertilizer. Just I want to have a bunch of those available to me so I can mess around with it. Okay, so that seems like a good number. So I want to see if I have the, for example, the hopper on top and placed, for example, the fertilizer, okay, it goes to the bottom slot, and if I have the compressed plants, it goes to the top slot, so that's perfect. I need to place, well, I've got three inputs. I've got compressed plants, I've got fertilizer, and I've got water. I would believe that water can be inputted from any direction using liquid ducts. So I guess that wouldn't be any problem. However, I'm going to need to test that as well. Let's go ahead and sleep and get out of one of my water ender tanks and test it out. So I should have some available here. I guess not. Okay, I'm gonna quickly go ahead and make some. Or you know what, let's just recolor one of those lava tanks using some lapis. So place it in the world and recolor it to blue, blue, blue. This is now a water tank. And get rid of this lapis. Okay, again, doing some of those tests on screen just to make sure that you guys understand why am I doing them and see the process of doing them as well. So let's get a couple of liquid ducts. If, for example, it will be from the side, will it work? So if this is on this mode, yeah, it works from the side. If it will be on the bottom, will it also work? So if I take this away, this, and place it like this, will it work? Oh wait, need to change this. Yep, okay, so it works both from the side and from the bottom, so that works no problem. I'm killing some wheat here, but that should be too much of a problem as well. Let's just one last test. Let's get some relays. Since I'm probably gonna use applied logistics here, just wanna quickly make sure that there is no problem in any of those systems. So let's get one more relay as well. Actually, I'll also get a tube. Okay, you know what? Actually, just realized that this is kind of boring. I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure out the best way for me to do this, and once I decide, I'm gonna simply do it on screen. So I'll be right back. Okay, I think I actually realized what I want to do, which pretty much make all those hoppers and relays makes them kind of useless, or pointless to be more precise, but we'll see. I'm gonna see how it turns out. Okay, so I placed all of those here on purpose. I've placed this fermenter here on purpose because I pretty much want this system to be here. I'm gonna place it one block further away from my actual farm. So I'm gonna place it here. So I have 16 and let's place 8 in a row. And the other 8 right on the other side, just like this. Mainly because I want to have exactly one extraction network of all the biomass. So all of this hopefully will be extracting all the biomass. I think extraction mode is like this, yeah. So all of that will be extracting biomass and will be going into this liquid tesseract, which will be frequency 2. And will be called biomass. How surprising. Without a capital M. Okay, and that will be sending only. Okay, so that will be all the biomass output. Now let's take care of all the water input. So again, something relatively easy. Gonna need some dirt to fill up all the empty spaces. This shovel is digging a little bit too fast for me because it's enchanted with efficiency 4, which is kind of crazy. Okay, so let's have liquid ducts under all those fermenters and have them kind of go around here, look kind of awesome, and have the water access point right here. So this goes away, can fill up the small space right here, and place the water tank, let's elevate it, here, which obviously will be on output mode. So all of those fermenters should start filling up with water. Yep, they all do. And because the way liquid ducts work, they're all evenly filled up with water. So they all filled up evenly, there is no discrimination. So let's take care of the rest of the things, which basically output fertilizer and output compressed plants. Now, what I actually decided I want to do is simply use applied logistics, and I really hope actually, this is something I did not test, that by placing an export bus on the top, it will be smart enough to realize what it should export where. But since I really didn't test it fully, I'm gonna figure this out and discover on screen whether it's working or not. So let's get a couple of those export buses and some cables to connect it to the rest of my network. So 3, I'm going to need 4 more because I have 16 fermenters. There we go. And we'll see how that works out. So let's try it with only 1 to begin with and continue from there. So export bus will be facing from the top like this. It will always be active and it will be either move or craft. Fertilizer and compressed plants. Now, if I connect it to the rest of the network, let's actually see if it works the way I expect it to work. It should. Usually, so far, applied logistics usually made sense. However, buildcraft machines or forestry are notorious to have problems with a lot of different mods and item moving systems. But it seems like it's working perfectly. It's even moving them both one at a time. So this is actually close to perfect. So they're all working. They're all going to fill up. So I'm going to quickly disconnect this to minimize the amount of network updates and place an export bus on each and every one of those fermenters. And only then connect them all together. So, okay, I'm going to add an off-screen change all of those fermenters to do fertilizer and plant ball on each export bus on stack mode, not stack mode, on single items or craft. So I'll be right back. Okay, so all the export buses should be set to work. Now obviously, since compressed plants are kind of on a crafting priority thingy, it might struggle a little bit in the beginning to fill all of them up at the same time, at the same rate, but overall it should be doing relatively okay. And the last thing I still didn't take care of, actually you should sleep before doing that, is energy. But energy really shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to use an energy tesseract and tap into my existing network and simply connect all of them, all my fermenters into the same network. So let's get one energy tesseract and slip quickly and connect it to the rest of everything. I'm going to need also some redstone conduits. And I think it will also eventually be a good time to start auto-crafting those. Do I even have any left? Redstone. No, I've got a redstone engine. Yep, probably also going to craft a little bit more of those as well. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so I got 10 more crafted to additional 17 I seem to have found somewhere in my chests, so it should be fine. So let's connect all of them to the same network. So the only face I'm still not using is basically the out face. So let's connect all of them like this. So they're all connected together and kind of go around here. And have those two in extraction mode and simply place an energy tesseract right here that will be on my buildcraft energy and it will be receiving only. And all of those fermenters should start working. This is pretty much how you know they're working. They obviously generate biomass. And I think the way fermenters work, I'm not really using fermenters too much, but fermenters work in a very specific way. They kind of, they use the different products in different rates, compressing plants and fertilizer in different rates, but overall they create biomass. And I think I actually should send a redstone signal to all those liquid ducts because they do not work without it. So let's do that. I need to break all those blocks underneath. So okay, so do this. And let's simply place our redstone torch on all of them. Okay, so the last two, and here. Okay, so there we go. All of those fermenters are now creating biomass and get extracted biomass from. And the last thing to actually do is set up a liquid duct right here that will actually accept that biomass. So let's get some more valves. Let's get one more. It's going to create 4 because that's simply the recipe. And let's break this block. Place the valve right here. Update this. Place the liquid tesseract. And for some reason I did not add the name of the network. So biomass, frequency 2, biomass. Okay, there we go. So let's set up this other tesseract, which will be on biomass, and it will be receiving only. And this should now start filling up with biomass, hopefully. Nope, I did something wrong. This is on send only, it's on biomass network, frequency 2, it's always... Oh wait, it might be receiving signal. Let's make it ignore a signal. It will always work regardless of a signal or not, because by default it's set up to work on signal set to 0 basically. This is receiving... Oh wait, it's control disabled. So let's set it up to actually look for a redstone signal, like this. Will it now work, please? Nope. Okay, what's the problem? Oh, okay, I know what's the problem. This liquid duct is set to extraction mode, so it will not interact with this tesseract. Let's simply fix it. Let's place this here, break this, update this, and place this, and okay, give me a second. Okay, so move the ender tank right here. Let's remove this tesseract and add one more liquid duct right here. Update it to connect to the rest of them, and place this liquid tesseract right here again. Set it up on the biomass network. It will be looking for no signal, and it will be sending only. And hopefully now this tank should start getting filled up, and it does. And there we go, we got biomass production included as well. So in this episode I got myself a water tank, a lava tank, and the biomass tank, which is getting filled up very nicely. Apparently I've got the crazy biomass production running at the moment. This is, I guess, producing a lot more than I thought it's going to. I guess because of the amount of generated energy I'm placing into it, which is pretty much a ton, and close to an infinite amount of compressed plants and fertilizers, pretty much. Because I have those is very easily available. Alright, so as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.